Maintenance Man here with a quick tutorial on how to stabilize your camera rig on your car mount. We've shown you several car rigs for mounting any number of cameras on vehicles in different positions. But the one thing we really haven't discussed is camera stabilization. So I want to do a quick video on how to stabilize your rig if there is some movement. The easiest way is to clamp a cross brace across the top of the rig. Since we don't have anything on the top to attach to, we have to build from the ground up. Now to do that, we're going to use 2 suction cups, 2 grip heads, 2 small clamps, and 2 5/8" rods or grip arms, as well as a 5/8" rod attached to the top of the camera. So we have this Sony camera on top of a 10-inch suction cup. Now, despite the fact that this will hold 300 pounds, you can get that. And if you're driving down the street and your camera's doing that, that's not going to be good. So how do we stabilize it? We want to stabilize it from the top, coming down on both sides. We're going to use 2 6-inch suction cups, 2 standard grip heads, and we need something on top. Now, if this was a camera with a cage, a cinema camera with a cage, we could put a 1/4 or a 3/8 inch right into the cage and give us a point to mount to. We are going to use the hot shoe, which I don't recommend. I think you should have a cage, but for this demonstration, we're going to go ahead and put it there. You can put it in your hot shoe or cold shoe. Maybe you have a cold shoe mount on your cage. That would be fine. I wouldn't recommend putting it in the hot shoe because it could rip it off. These are Pro-Aim clamps for 5/8. We could use a grip head or a mini grip head up here, but they're a little bit heavier. These are pretty light clamps, and I like to keep as much weight off of the top as possible. Take your suction cups, open that up a little bit, and you can tighten that up, and it tightens both up simultaneously. Tighten that up, push it down to your vehicle or desk, and now we have 1 point. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Go here, find a place where your suction cup can stick on your car, put your 5/8 rod in, tighten it up. Tighten that up, and then tighten up these clamps. And now, that cannot move. And you can see the difference. If I hit it without it, it's going to move. So now if this whole rig is shaking, this is not going anyplace. Another option for attaching, if you have something like this and don't want to use the hot shoe, you could use a Cardellini clamp or a mini Cardellini clamp on your handle or on your cage. Put it here, and then just move your pieces back. So if you're not comfortable with the front, with the shoe, you can attach something simple like this. If you have a cage, you can use a threaded insert, put it in the cage, but you can see the difference. And if you wanted to put more stabilization, you could put this on the back, put another suction cup, more rods. But typically, that's the standard. These rods happen to be 6061 T6 aluminum. We just cut them to size. You can use standard grip head rods that come with your C-stands, the grip arms. Anything will work. And if it came out to here, who cares? So it just can't go down into the surface of the vehicle. You may have a scenario where you can't connect it across the car. It's not big enough. You might have to go to another point, like up here, and then attach it over. So you need a longer rod, or potentially from back here. What you don't want to do is come from here, because then you're still going to get that. You want to have these as close as possible to being across from each other, and that'll keep the camera from moving. you see what happens here. It's going this way. Whereas if we had this on, tighten this up. And you see when I did that, when I sucked it down, it actually pulled the camera down. Last thing you want to do is tighten up your arms. The first thing you want to do is get your suction cup stuck. You could put another one in the back coming down. Whatever you need to do, you just want to stabilize from the top of the camera down, get it as stable as possible. I always think you should put the camera down further. The higher you go up, the more gear you have on it. As you build up, you're going to get more flexibility in all the parts. If you're putting the camera directly onto a Mitchell mount, it's probably not going to move. You're not going to have to worry about it. But if you're building up and you have transmitters, screens, everything else on it, you may have to use this type of stabilization. Shit.